I moved to Nashville in 1962, January 2nd, to take a job with Mercury Records, working in the A&R department. Just 18 days after I moved up here, I recorded Ahab the Arab at 10 o'clock one morning of January 20th, and at 2 o'clock that same day, this gentleman recorded one of his big hits. Here he is, Leroy Van Dyke, ladies and gentlemen. Did that make any sense at all?
I don't remember that far back. Mm-hmm. And all the other people involved are dead now.
How did you get started in this business?
Well, once upon a time, I camped out in Korea in a squad tent for a year. And the words and the music to a song started coming to me out of the air. Now, you're a songwriter. You're a professional songwriter. I wrote one song and quit while I was ahead. But this song started coming to me, and I kept ignoring it. And about the fourth time it came to me, I said, somebody's trying to tell me something. So I went back to my tent and wrote it down. It's a true story about a man, possibly the best purebred livestock auctioneer that ever walked, a man named Ray Sims. And came back from Korea, went to Chicago, and I just got on a talent contest and lost. But before I got out of the studio, the telephone was ringing. And within 2 weeks, we had the record out. Within 3 months, we'd sold 1 million records. And the song was Auctioneer, and that's how it started.
You remember that, folks? Auctioneer?
Yeah. So the short answer to how I got in the business, it was a fluke.
I wrote Ahab the Arab the night before the session because I was in a panic. We were living in a little one-room apartment here. I just moved up here. It's all we could afford. The baby was sleeping in the bottom dresser drawer. And I said, I got to get out of here. And I had a session booked the next morning, so I'm going to write a hit. And I wrote and recorded Ahab the Arab the next morning. Sure enough, it got me out of that one-room apartment.
I guess it did.
That was a star-struck day because I could have hit that morning. You could have hit 2 o'clock.
Same musicians. Yeah, the same group of musicians.
Yeah, and at 6 o'clock that same day, Joe Dowell cut Wooden Heart, which was a big hit. Wow.
And he sold 1 million, and you sold 1 million, and I sold 1 million or two. I don't know how many.
Yeah, Shelby Singleton was a producer on all those songs,
yes.
all those records.
Yes.
And bless his heart, he's the guy that gave me the job at Mercury.
Well, he's the guy that put me on record, and I was on the Ozark Jubilee with Red Foley. I'd already done my run-through on the show at the Ozark Jubilee. Somebody tapped me on the shoulder and said, who are you recording for? And I said, nobody, I'm looking. I turned around, he said, I'll record you. It was Shelby Singleton.
Yeah.
And Walk On By was the second song I cut for him.
Yeah.
He was good for me.
Oh, yeah, he's been good for a lot of people.
And Jerry Kennedy, of course.
Oh, yeah.
The guitar player.
Kennedy has played guitar on a lot of hit records, including Ahab the Arab and several others of mine. And, of course, for Leroy also. We were talking also, to digress about the song Walk On By, how you found the song. And you were shopping among the publishers here in Nashville to see what they had.
I had a Harlan Howard song that got in the charts, made it to number 17, and just sat there for a while. And Jerry said, we better be looking for another song. And went to Gary Walker's office. That was Bill Lowry's...
my mentor, Lowry Music.
Your mentor, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
The office here in Nashville. And he played me a lot of stuff, and it was, okay, what else you got? What else you got? What else you got? He said, I got one more song, but I won't play it for you. I said, why not? He said, it's not finished. I said, let me hear it. He said, no, I won't play it for you because it's not finished. I almost had to arm wrestle him. But he finally conceded, and he played the song, and sure enough, it wasn't ready. It sounded like it had been recorded in a garage with an out-of-tune piano and a Webcore wire recorder or something like that. And the voice wasn't the best in the world. And they went through and they said, just walk on by. And I started to say, what else you got? He said, wait on the corner. I said, I want it. He said, but it's not finished. I said, well, let's finish it. So I rearranged the first verse a little bit, rearranged the chorus a little bit. And Gary Walker took it home that night and wrote the second verse because the writer, Kendall Hayes, had run out of gas and he couldn't think of a second verse. And so that's where the song came from.
When you got a good idea like that,
stroke of luck.
It'll write itself if it has to. Why don't you sing that song for us?
I'll try to remember the words, yeah.
I'll try to back you up here.
Don't hurt me any. if I see you tomorrow on some street in town. Pardon me if I don't say hello. I belong to another. It wouldn't look so good to know someone I'm not supposed to know. Just walk on by, wait on the corner. I love you, but we're strangers when we meet. Just walk on by, wait on the corner. I love you, but we're strangers when we meet. In a dimly lit corner at a place outside of town, tonight we'll try to say goodbye again. But I know it's not over. I'll call tomorrow night. I can't let you go, so why pretend? Just walk on by, wait on the corner. I love you, but we're strangers when we meet. Just walk on by, wait on the corner. I love you, but we're strangers when we meet. I love you, but we're strangers